Hello, everybody. Thank you for bearing with me as I get set up here. Of course, it's nothing if not through a few wrenches thrown into things that make things a little interesting, right? So, thank you so much for coming to this yin yoga class. If you don't know me, my name is Kim. I am a yoga instructor, a massage therapist, a psychic medium, and a Gene Keys guide. Really, what my passion is to really support people in their healing journeys and kind of help them unwind things in their life, both in their body, in their mind, as well as in their spirit. So thank you so much for joining me. Now, if you're new to Yin Yoga, it is a very slow moving practice, which means it's perfect for beginners as well as people that are experiencing pain, tightness in the body, people that have anxiety, depression, people that are sometimes on a spiritual path and really aren't getting the breakthroughs that they're seeking. These are all just a few examples of people that yin yoga is a great practice for. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to take a few breaths at the very beginning of this class to really set the mood, set our intention. We can think about a word, a feeling, an emotion that we would like to feel during and at the end of this practice. So, we are just going to set cross legged on the ground and close our eyes. And we're going to take a few deep breaths. What would you like this practice to be for you? What would you like to gain from this practice tonight? Just kind of slowly sink into your body, sink into that emotion that you are looking for in this moment. And when you're breathing in yoga in particular, you want to be breathing in and out of your nose if possible. If you're congested, feel free to grab some tissues. Sometimes it can force some of that phlegm or congestion out of our nasal passages. So do your best. If it's not possible, feel free to breathe however you feel more comfortable. Just in and out through your nose. A few more breaths. All right. Now we're going to sweep our arms up to the sky. We're going to breathe in and look up. I'm going to take a couple of really deep breaths here. Again, in and out through the nose. And the looking up is important because we spend so much time looking down at tablets, computers, televisions, phones. And then we're going to drop our left hand to the ground and we're going to sweep that right arm up and over. One thing you want to be really careful about is that you're not drawing this hip up too much. People have a tendency to kind of maybe try to stretch a little farther than their body wants to go. So you want to make sure that this right hip is nice and grounded into the ground. And you're just going to do the same thing. Breathe in and out through your nose. And with yin yoga, you really don't want to stretch to your maximum capacity. You want to kind of take it easy. Focus more on alignment and where you feel a stretch, but you also feel comfortable enough to hold that stretch for a few minutes. So another deep breath here. Then we're going to bring that right hand to the ground. Ground it down, and we're going to sweep that left arm up and over. Breathe in through your nose, nice deep breaths. And really try to ground this left hip into the ground. And really try to kind of rotate the chest up to the sky as much as you can. Again, you don't want to be too forceful in yin because part of the yin practice is softness. It's allowing those things to rise within us, to unwind within us. And that takes time, that takes space, it takes a sense of safety. So I want you to hold that pose for just one more breath in and out. And this is just a warm-up phase, but all of our poses today are going to be floor-based. They're going to be nice and gentle so that you can really relax into these poses and really feel your body. Okay, I want you to bring your arms down. Now we're going to take our right hand and place it on our left knee. We're going to take our left hand and we're going to put it right behind our left hip here. We're going to set up nice and tall, as tall as you can. And then from that tallness, that height, we're going to twist to the left. Again, you don't want to go all the way to your maximum stretch. You want to really have a lot of softness with the yin practice, because it's in that softness that things release, right? I think we have a really hard time with having that softness, that yin in our life. We're so forceful in so many areas of our life, but some of the issues that are in our bodies, just tightness, uncomfortableness, pain, all of those just take a lot of time, a lot of love, and a lot of safety. So give yourself that safety, give yourself that love. Maybe breathing in and out through your nose again. Keep that spine nice and tall as you twist. You might notice after a few minutes within a pose that you're able to go a little bit deeper into that pose, right? And let that happen naturally. Again, you don't want to force anything in yin yoga. Just be with your body and breathe with your body. It's really such a gift that we so rarely give ourselves. So now we're going to bring it back to center, and we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to take our left hand, take it to our right knee. We're going to take our right hand and place it right behind our right hip. We're going to stay nice and straight, and then we're going to twist. You might notice that one side is tighter than the other. And that can happen, especially when we get into the shoulders and the hip area. It's very common for one side to feel different than the other side. And what you'll actually notice is that the body is trying to balance itself. So you'll have tightness on one side, on the front side of your body, but then on the other side of your body, you'll have more tightness on the back side of the opposite side. So I'll be making some more videos on that, on how to balance your body. But first, we have to feel our body in order to do anything. So again, nice and straight. Give yourself some nice deep breaths. Really allow your muscles to open up of their own accord. And that's when you'll start noticing that you can go a little bit deeper, a little bit farther into the pose. A couple more deep breaths here. In and out through your nose. If you forget, it's fine. Just bring yourself back on track. That's part of the learning process. All right. And we're going to come back to center. Now we're going to work on our hips a little bit. So we're going to bring our legs into butterfly pose, right? So you're just drawing your knees in, feet are together. Now you could be way out here. You could also be all the way in here. Wherever you are at is fine. Come as you are. And don't ever think that yoga isn't for you because you can't get into the same pose as somebody else. Yoga is a practice that accepts you where you are. So wherever you are, start flapping your wings. And we're just going to sit here for a minute or two and really just bounce our knees up and down. Now what this is doing is it's jostling your hip joints. And jostling is actually a massage technique that people use that tricks the joint receptors into relaxing. So it's a great way to kind of start opening up the hips. And you can go as fast or as slow as you would like. And we're really just going to open these hips up a little bit. Bounce, 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 bounce. And we're going to stay here for a minute or two. So make yourself nice and comfortable. You really want to be setting up on your sits bones. So you don't want to be crouching down like this. I'll show you from the side. What you don't want to be doing is crouching like this. Right? Rotate the hips so that you're setting on your sits bones. Sometimes you can pull the cheeks out a little bit, and that can give you a firmer, more solid foundation on which to sit. So keep flapping your beautiful wings. Be grateful that you gave yourself the time today to really sink into your body. Again, it is such a gift. I spent 15 years as a massage therapist working with pain management. And the thing I notice overwhelmingly is that people are not in their body. They don't even really feel a lot of times what's going on in their body. So yoga is a great practice for just being aware and witnessing what you have going on in your body. What messages does it have to tell you? When you do some of these poses, are there any thoughts, emotions coming up, memories coming up? We store everything in our bodies, right? The body keeps the score. That book is legit, y'all. The body keeps the score. And so we really hold on to traumas, memories, emotions, stresses. And sometimes when we work with a somatic sense, then we can really kind of witness those things arise within us, really start to just be very curious about what is arising for you in these moments and follow them, right? Follow them. They're like little treasure trails leading you to a path of healing and a path of releasing things. So yeah, no, we store a lot of trauma in our bodies, a lot of anxiety, stress, in addition to just regular emotions that we're feeling on our day-to-day. Okay, so now we are going to take our legs out in front of us and we're going to give them a nice little shake. Okay, all you're doing is bringing them up and down, shaking them out a little bit. Similar to the butterfly pose, but legs are out in front of you. Now we're going to bring our legs into a wide-legged forward fold. Again, you might have your legs way out here, or your legs might be right here. Like wherever you are is just fine. Find that stretch. Again, you want to look for that about 80% of how far you can go. You really don't want to push yourself. And if you push yourself, you don't get to witness and feel your body starting to release. It's starting to realign is what is coming to mind right now. So We're going to do something called stir the pot. And it's one of my favorite hip opener stretches. This wide-legged forward fold can be pretty intense. So give yourself another little shake. And then we're going to start in the center. And we are just going to stretch all the way around. It's like this area here. Imagine there's like a cauldron right here. And you are just stirring the cauldron. You can keep it up here if you like. You can bring it all the way down. Choose your adventure, right? Like whatever feels right for your body. It's really important that you pay attention to that and listen to it. When I do this pose, I really like to imagine that I am stirring my chakras up, particularly that root chakra, the sacral chakra, those chakras that give you that sense of safety, right? We're just stirring them up all the way down and around, whichever way you decided to go, it's just fine. All right, we're gonna come back to center and we're gonna go the other way. We're gonna reverse it. You might notice it feels different going one way or another, and that's okay. Just be with it. Just be aware of what your body is telling you. Whether that's just, this is tight, or it's tighter on this side, or memory or emotion comes up, whatever it is. Our bodies are really intelligent, much more intelligent than we think they are. And they're always sending us signs and signals about what's going on with it. And it's really about slowing down and taking the time to pay attention to those signs and signals that it's sending us. All right, let's do one more all the way around. Then we're going to come to center. Now we are going to walk our hands forward a little bit and go into an actual forward fold. Now again, how far you go down is not a big deal, right? You could be up here. And like this is intense if you have tight hips, really intense. You could also be way down here. The thing I really want you to pay attention to is, like with the butterfly, turn this way, that you're not crouching down to make sure that you get a little farther. I don't care how far you get down. That's not important at all. And there's nobody here watching you, so who cares, right? Like nobody cares. What you want to pay attention to is keeping this back straight. So again, you're popping your hips out. We call them hips. Popping your hips out. You can pull cheeks out. Give yourself a nice little solid base. And then you're just going to walk your hands forward. Again, you could be up here, you could be here, you could be way down here. What you want to pay attention to is trying to keep this back straight. So go ahead, walk forward wherever you are. Remember, it's all good. It's all good. And we're going to walk our hands forward. You want to keep your chest pointed towards the front. Pointed wherever it is that you're looking. Head up, chest open. And really breathe. Sink into it. And again, you might notice after a minute or two, you're able to come down farther. You're able to sink into that stretch a little bit more. And that is beautiful. That means that this practice is starting to work. Your muscles are starting to respond and to loosen up. And that is an amazing sign. The more you do it, the more you do yin yoga, the more that's going to happen for you. Just remember, if you feel uncomfortable at any point, come out of the pose, modify however you need to do. Maybe your legs need to come in a little bit more. It's all good. We're going to stay in this pose for 1 more minute. Breathe in through your nose. Nice, deep, long breath. And then breathe it out. Again, through your nose. Nice, long, slow. We got a few more breaths here. And then we're going to bring our torso back up. And we're going to do a side stretch now. So we're going to put one hand, your left hand, on your leg. I like to leave it on the leg. You can put it down if you're very flexible. You can also hold it up if you feel like you need the support. However you want to do the stretch, however you need to do the stretch is just fine. Again, choose your adventure and choose a fun one. Don't choose one that's like torturous. So we're going to bring our right arm up and over. This is going to really get into the side body here. Again, you kind of want to open this chest up to the sky. Nice deep breath. You might, like me, start to get some little pops and realignments right around this time. I kind of live for those because it is like a chiropractic adjustment, but it is a self chiropractic adjustment. And once you know how to give yourself those, oh man, that's a beautiful thing right there. That is a beautiful thing. And we're going to stretch a little bit deeper. Also bring your elbow up on your knee. You're feeling a little low energy. And have fun with it. Like it's not, it doesn't need to be so formal, right? It needs to be about your body and how it wants to unwind. So we're going to switch sides. We're going to bring our right arm down to the ground, on top of the leg, behind the leg, wherever your arm wants to be. And we're going to stretch up and over. Nice deep breaths. Try to keep that chest open to the center here. You don't want to collapse in like this. It's not what we're going for here. We're not trying to go for the toes. We are just opening our chest, opening this side body here. And we're breathing. Okay, breathe in and out through your nose. And you're going to come up to center. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our legs together. How we're going to do that is we're going to shake them as we bring them together. So shake, 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 shake. Hips might be a little tight after that. Legs might be a little tight. So again, we're jostling them. That's what we're doing here. We're shaking them. Shake them out. That in and of itself can really relax muscles. All right, so we're going to draw our knees into our chest. Let's give ourselves a nice little hug. Just have so much gratitude for having this practice and being here and loving on your body a little bit. The thing I love about yin yoga is it's so accessible for everyone. And it involves no handstands, which is nice. It's very nice. Nor does it involve hotness. No sweaty yoga here. We're gentle, we're chill. Okay, so now I am going to shift my mat over a little bit so you can see me maybe a little bit better here. And we are going to come on to hands and knees. If you're guessing that we're going into cat and cow, you guessed right. So we're going to bring both hands out in front of us. Just want to make sure that they're underneath your shoulder here. And we are going to start off in tabletop and just kind of move our body around, right? Just moving around a little bit, waking those hips up a little bit more. And we're going back the other way. However you want to move, as big or as little as you want. Again, it's your practice, and there's nobody here to judge you. So do you, like do you. Okay. Breathe in through your nose. And we are going to start with cow pose. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw our chest through our arms here. Basically, you're just kind of dipping your lower back, bringing your hips up and your chest up and forward too. And then on the exhale, I want you to push down with both your knees and your hands and draw your back up like a cat. You can imagine yourself hissing if you would like. Then draw your chest up, your hips up, and then push the ground away into the cat pose. Inhale, bring your hips up, your chest forward. Exhale, we're going to push the ground away into cat pose. One more time, we're going to draw the hips up, draw the chest forward into cow pose, and then we're going to exhale and draw, push the ground away, and pull our waist up into cat pose. All right, so now we are going to, we're going to do puppy dog pose, which is like downward facing dog, but a little less intense, and it is one of my favorite chest and shoulder openers. So it's just like a downward dog, but you stay on your knees instead of popping up onto your feet. So you're going to be on your hands and knees, and all you're going to do is walk your hands forward. And kind of melt your chest to the ground here, right? That's what you want to keep open. And you're just going to hold this pose for 2 to 3 minutes. I'll walk you through it, and I'll let you know when to come out of it, okay? I like to, again, keep my chest open, keep it forward. So when I come down into this pose, I like to look forward. I like to bring my chest forward. Similar to the cow pose that we just did. And you're just going to sink into this pose and breathe in and out through your nose, same as we've been doing, and really melt into this pose. This is a heart-opening pose, a very gentle one, and it is one of my favorites. It is such a gentle, easy pose to do. Even when you have time for nothing else, this is a great pose to do. All right, I'm going to see you on the other side, and I'll see you in a minute or two. Keep your breathing and melt that chest forward. The thing you want to be mindful of in this pose is to keep the belly kind of tucked in. You don't want to hang it down, right? Just kind of tuck it in. You don't have to suck in like you're trying to impress anybody. Just a little tuck there. It's good. Another breath or two, in and out of your mouth, or in and out of your nose. In and out of your nose, not out of your mouth. In and out of your nose. Nice and deep and slow breath. Really sink into this pose. This is such a beautiful pose. Get all the benefits of the downward facing dog without some of the intensity of it. All right. So come up out of that pose. We've only got a few more poses to do, and then I'll lead you through a short meditation. That I honestly think is the most important part of any yoga practice is the savasana at the end. Everybody wants to skip through it, but it is really where you integrate the changes that you've made in your body. And it's really where you can continue to receive those messages from your body and really kind of just feel that new energy coursing through. So don't skip that. Okay? Even if it's like 5 minutes, don't skip it. So we are going to sit with our legs in front of us. And give them a little shake if you feel like you need to. And then we're going to draw our right leg in. So your right foot is going to be against your left shin. One-legged forward fold. So we're going to sweep our arms up and over our head. We're going to look up again. Nice deep breath in here. And on the exhale, we're going to come down over this left foot. Again, maybe you're up here. Maybe you're way down here. It's all good, right? Wherever your body needs to be in this moment is beautiful. Like don't try to force things or wish it was something else. You can also lift that cheek up and really ground down into that left hip as well. So we are just going to come down. Again, we want to keep our chest facing forward, right? Head facing forward. We don't want to collapse in here in an effort to try to get somewhere that, quite frankly, we don't need to be. So we're going to breathe and stretch. And we're going to be here for a minute or two. You can give yourself some nice circles with the feet if you like, before sinking into the pose fully. Nice and deep breath in and out. You'll probably feel a lot of activation along the hamstring. Again, if it's too much, come out a little bit. At a certain point, your muscles will start to relax, and you might find yourself able to shift a little bit deeper into the pose. Don't forget your nice, slow, deep breaths. All right, so you guys stay there. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. We're going to set up nice and tall. We're going to put our left hand on our right knee, and we're going to do another twist. So nice and tall, and we twist. And you can do a couple circles with the feet if you'd like. There we go. Another big, deep inhale. And exhale through the nose. Another deep breath in and out. Close your eyes, sink into your body. Pay attention to anything that's coming up for you in these moments, whether it's just thoughts, the emotion coming up, the memories bubbling up. Just pay attention and witness that, okay? All right, so this is one of my favorite poses next. It's called the Stargazer. And how we're going to get into this pose is we're going to take this right hand, put it right behind your right hip. So just right here. Now this could be pretty intense. So if you cannot do this pose, you can stay right here seated and just bring your left arm up and over. If you're feeling like you can go a little farther, you can actually bring your hips up. So you're kind of like almost in a triangle here. And then bring your arm up and over. This is called the Stargazer pose. This is one of my favorite poses. It's like going upside down, but you don't have to actually go upside down, so that's nice. You can play around with the arm here. What feels good to you? What feels like a better stretch to you? And then we're going to bring our hips down and we're going to stretch back over that left leg. We're going to do it from the side this time. So your chest is more in the center, right? As opposed to over your leg. It's more in the center here. And you're just going to fold over. And this is where you can actually kind of fold all the way in. You don't want to completely collapse, but take a couple of really nice breaths and open up this side body. All right, we're going to come up and we're going to switch sides. So we're going to draw our left leg in, bending that left knee. Right leg straight out in front of us. We're going to sweep our arms up and we're going to fold right over that leg. Again, you could be way up here, you could be way down here. It's all good, right? Choose your adventure and also pay attention to the adventure that your body wants and is ready for. And we're just going to do some nice deep breathing here. In and out. And you might notice after a minute or so that your body really starts to loosen up and you can sink a little bit deeper into these poses. You're going to keep your chest forward, face forward. And we're going to fold nice and gently. One more deep breath in and out through the nose here. And we're going to come up. We're going to put our left hand or right hand on our left knee. Left hand goes behind us. We're going to set up nice and tall and we're going to twist. And give yourself some nice circles with your foot. One way, and the other. Keep setting it nice and tall. Keep breathing. In and out through the nose. And we come back to center before we head into stargazer pose. So what we're going to do is take our left hand, take it behind us, keep it behind us if we're still there. And we're going to sweep our right arm up and over us, like we're gazing at the stars. Now you can stay here like this on the ground. This is pretty intense. If you feel like you can do a little bit more, you can go ahead and lift your hips up. And I'm going to turn this way so you can see a little bit better. All right. We're going to come down and stay where you're at. And then we are going to fold over the right leg again. Now remember, instead of going straight down the right leg, we're opening up to the center here, to the center. And move that arm up and over. Let's do this way. There we go. I'm going to really open up the side body. Same with what I was talking about earlier. You really want to ground this left hip down so it doesn't come up too much. You really want it to be nice and secure there. Give yourself a nice foundation from which to stretch from. Just another breath or two here. And we're going to come up. I do one more twist. And then we are going to call it. So, what I want us to do is bring your hands behind your hips. Okay? And then I want you to scoot your hips forward. Okay? It should be a really intense stretch for some people that have really tight chests. And then we're going to take our feet wider than our hips. So if you have a mat that's about mat width apart, if you don't have a yoga mat that you're practicing with, just a little bit wider than your hips. And we're just going to rotate side to side. So we're going to bring our hips over to the right. And we're going to bring it back up. And we're going to bring it down over to the left. And come back up. And we're going to bring our hips and our knees over to the right. The thing you have to be careful about is setting up straight. So you just want to go back and forth between the sides, nice and gentle. Okay, and bring your hips back up. And we're going to lay down on the ground, or you're going to lay down on the ground and head into a nice Savasana. I'm going to stay up and talk you through it, but just relax onto the ground. Close your eyes. Really, this time, sink into Savasana pose, corpse pose. Another one of my favorite poses that I don't think I really appreciated until I became a parent. And then I was like, wait, I just sat here for 5 to 10 minutes and don't do anything. And then I started to really appreciate Savasana. But just release and really sink into the ground beneath you. Take some deep breaths in and out through your nose. One deep breath. And another deep breath. Nice and slow. And yet another deep breath. I want you to feel into your body. What does it feel like now? Does it feel different than when you started? Does it still feel like you have areas of tension and stress? Feel into those. What is it telling you? Is it telling you just about stress? Are things coming up that you're stressed about during your day? You have emotions coming out. Again, memories can come out. You might think of someone or something. These are all our body sending us messages, particularly people that are getting pain messages, pain signals in the body. That is your body's way to communicate with you. We don't always like that communication, as in every other communication that we have sometimes, but that's the communication that it has. So, what does it say to you? Does it say you need more yoga? Does it say you need to do something? Most likely, it probably says that you need to just release and relax. So, we're going to relax into that. If you've got a lot of thoughts coming up, swirling around you, and that monkey mind coming to mess with you, one of my tricks that I use for that is to imagine that those thoughts, those to-do list items, are like rain hitting my windshield. And I'm just windshield wipering them off. Back and forth, back and forth. Another technique that you can use is to imagine your thoughts, those to-do lists, all of those things passing you above this in the sky like clouds, right? Just watch them pass. You're laying on your back, looking up, and just noticing what crosses your path, what crosses over top of you. Could be big stuff, could be small stuff. Just let it go in this moment. Really sink into the now and let those thoughts go. They'll be there. That to-do list will always be there, right? Don't worry about that. There's always something to do, right? But in this moment, really let it go. It will come back to you, I promise. If it's important, it'll come back. And sometimes some of the not so important stuff comes back too. And that's okay. Just allow it. Just watch it go. I'm like, wow, okay, that cloud looks like a rain cloud, but that's right. It's going to pass over me. This too shall pass. It's a really, famous saying for a reason. And I want you to keep focusing on that breath, just in and out through your nose. Nice and gentle. Just release the things you have to do, the things you worry about, the things you think about. Maybe even thinking about how you're having a hard time releasing. Release that too. And just witness. It's okay. Everything is okay. A frantic mind, a monkey mind, a mind unable to be quiet, as if minds can actually do that. It's all good. So we're going to take another deep breath or two. And then I want you to slowly start moving your fingers and your toes. Slowly bring them back to life. Now, if you have longer time to set in a longer meditation, a longer savasana, you should absolutely do that. But this is the end of your time. Go ahead and roll over onto your side and join me cross-legged on your mat or on the floor. I want you to really thank yourself for being here. It's hard to take the time, and this is a long class. It's hard to take the time. But if you made it all the way through this, I bet you're feeling so much more peace and ease in your body. And I hope that you continue your practice. We're going to leave it here. So we're going to bring our hands together and namaste. Honor yourself for being here. And thank you. for joining me. Namaste.